The Horde might have had a dip in power over in the PvP department come Wrath, but when it comes to raiding and getting those juicy parses, there are two races that reign supreme, and we're going to go over that today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Comeback Kids Wrath of the Lich King video. Today we will be speaking about Horde racials, what's changed, what's new, and what might be the best race for your class. First up, we have the Orc. Starting off with Axe specialization, this has been changed to add fist weapons to the list as well as one-handed and two-handed axes. Blood Fury has been buffed to no longer give you a debuff to your healing during the duration and only keep the positive sides of it. Hardiness has been changed from giving you a 15% chance to resist stuns to now just reducing the duration of stun effects by 15%. Command text has been changed to just saying pets damage is increased by 5% to include Death Knights there rather than just saying Hunter and Warlock pets. Next up, we'll talk about the Undead. Will of the Forsaken has seen a nerf. It will no longer provide immunity to fear, sleep, and charm effects for 30 seconds after using it anymore, and will instead just remove all fear, charm, and sleep effects on your character. Cannibalize has remained unchanged. Shadow resistance has changed to no longer increase shadow resistance by 10, but instead reduce your chance to be hit by shadow spells by 2%. Underwater breathing has been nerfed from 300% extra breath to 233% extra breath. I do think that has something to do with the fact that they kind of increased everyone's breath underwater overall, but it is a notable change. The only change for Taurens is to nature resistance, which has been changed to no longer increase your nature resistance by 10, but to now reduce your chance to be hit by nature spells by 2%. Next on the list is Trolls, who have one big change as well as an addition to their racials. Berserking has been buffed to no longer have a scaling effect based off how much health you have missing, and instead to increase both attack and casting speed by a flat 20% for 10 seconds, which is pretty much just a mini bloodlust that you could add to whatever cooldowns you have, making it an insane cooldown. The rest of the troll racials have remained unchanged. There is an addition as well to the troll racials, which is the Voodoo Shuffle, which reduces the duration of all movement and parrying effects by 15%. And last but certainly not least, we have the Blood Elf. Starting off, we have the removal of Mana Tap and the rework of Arcane Torrent. Arcane Torrent has been buffed pretty significantly, with giving mana back without needing to Mana Tap targets and also being a 3-second AoE interrupt to anyone in its radius. Magic resistance has been changed from increasing resistances to all magic types by 5 to reducing your chance to be hit by all spells by 2%. Which is a pretty insane buff compared to what everyone else only has one school of magic being reduced to hit. Now let's talk about the best race class combos for each class. For Warrior for PvE DPS, you cannot go wrong with either Troll or Orc, with Orc edging out over Troll if you do have that axe equipped. The Undead and Tauren are just not as good as the other two races for just pure DPS. For Warrior PvP, Orc is the best due to hardiness reducing the duration of that crowd control. Undead would be the second best race due to Will of the Forsaken, but it's just not as useful due to Berserker Rage for Warriors kind of making that redundant. Tauren and Troll all being pretty close to one another, but just not as good. A lot like Warrior, really can't go wrong with either the Orc or the Troll, with Orc edging out once again if you're wielding an axe. For PvP for Rogue, Undead is still supreme due to not having Berserker Rage giving Will of the Forsaken huge value. However, Orc is still up there due to Blood Fury and hardiness, and I do think people undervalue Arcane Torrent. The interrupt on there is pretty strong for Rogue PvP. For Mage, when it comes to PvE, Troll is going to be the best due to Berserking just being a mini lust and giving them way more value than any of the other ratios available for Mage. For PvP, I would say Undead is the best race for Mage due to Will of the Forsaken being very powerful on a Mage. However, there is a case to be made for Troll with Berserking being a very powerful burst cooldown for arenas, and even Blood Elves for the silence that they have on Arcane Torrent. For Warlock PvE, Orc edges out over the other two races available due to benefiting from both Blood Fury as well as Command. For Warlock PvP, I would say you cannot go wrong with either the Orc or the Undead, with both races providing great racials for Warlock PvP, with Undead being better against the mirror matchups and Orcs having a great value overall. For Hunter PvE, the best two races are very clearly once again the Orc and the Troll. I would give the edge to Troll with Berserking and Bow Spec, however I think it could go either way with Orc due to Blood Fury and Command giving that extra pet damage. For PvP, I have to give it to Orc for the same reasons that make them great in PvE, but also getting hardiness to reduce the duration of those stun effects. Shaman PvE. I'm sure you're starting to see the trend here at this point, but once again for Shaman PvE, we have Orcs and Trolls as the top dogs, with Orcs being better as enhancement with either an axe or fist weapon due to that axe spec, and Troll being equal with Orc for the other two specs, and even better I think for Elemental. For Shaman PvP, I'd have to give it to Orc due to hardiness just being better than the Troll racials available. However, the Voodoo Shuffle is pretty good for reducing all of that slow for Troll by 15%. Priest PvE. For Priest, all racial Priest abilities have been removed, which does change the meta a little bit for Priest. However, the best race for PvP is hands down Troll. There is no greater value than Berserking. It is by far the best PvE racial between the three races available to Priest for Horde PvE. For PvP, it's going to have to go to Undead, with Will of the Forsaken just being way too strong compared to the other racials available that the other races offer. But I think there is a case to be made for Troll due to Priest having Fear Ward already. Death Knight PvE. For DK PvE, once again, our two best friends are at the top, Orc and Troll. I do have to give it to the Orc due to pet damage being better with command. However, Berserking is always a great racial for PvE. For PvP, I have to give it up to the Orcs once again for DKs. Will of the Forsaken has less value for DK due to Lichborn, kind of removing fears already, and Orc having hardiness as well as command just makes them a little bit stronger than the rest. However, if you're playing against a caster, Blood Elf is also very strong due to Arcane Torrent being an interrupt, already adding to the very long list of interrupts that DKs have available to them.
We have this right around the corner within the next couple of months, and we here at the Comeback Kids are super excited. With the announcement of the fresh servers for Wrath of the Lich King, we have made the decision that we are going to be leveling on there with our community. The opportunity for a completely fresh start in one of WoW's best expansions ever is something we absolutely cannot pass up on. If you all are interested, be on the lookout for updates about our plans in the future, when we're going to be leveling, when the server will be announced, etc. We absolutely love to engage with our community. So if you want to join us on the shores of Northrend come Wrath of the Lich King launch day, be sure to join us on the US East PvP server.
And with that being said, everyone, I'm going to be bringing this video to a close. In the comment section below, tell us what race class combo you're going to be playing for Wrath. Are you re-rolling, sticking with your tune from vanilla, or are you going with something off meta? The biggest thing to remember is to have fun and play the race you like the most. My name is Lance with the Comeback Kids, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!